Hey there, action fan, it's Avatar review time. Today I'm looking at Legend of Korra Episode 7, The Return. The episode begins with Korra and the kids arriving in Republic City. After finally getting back into some decent Avatar attire, Korra joins Asami and Mako for lunch. Then things get a little tense, what with Korra not writing to Mako and Asami being really defensive about her daddy issues. And Wu just being Wu, of course.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Then things lighten up when Wu gets kidnapped. And a chase begins. Team Avatar catches the truck Wu was in, but it turns out he was shell-gamed over to another vehicle. So Korra uses spirity powers to track him to a train. Then Team Avatar gets into a fight with a bunch of metal benders, and rescue Wu. They drop him off at Asami's place so he can hang out with Mako's family until the heat dies down. Meanwhile, over at the B-plot, Varrick and Bolin have joined up with a bunch of escaped prisoners, and they help them to sneak past an Earth Empire checkpoint. But when the boys get recognized and have to fight their way out, things start to look bleak, until Varrick brings down all the power-armored guys with an EMP or something. And lava takes care of the rest. Finally, the episode ends with Kuvira and Junior tearing up the swamp for spirit vines. Okay, this episode was awesome. Finally, it feels like Korra's back. It's gotta be the costume. Green just isn't Korra's color.
Yes, because that was the real problem the whole time.
Okay, fine, it's more than Korra's fashion sense. It's also Korra doing cool Avatar stuff like the Spirit Vine thing, and doing an awesome job in her fight scenes. None of Team Avatar's fights are really protracted. They're just long enough to add a sense of urgency and energy to the race to find Wu, and get him to safety. Mako and Asami do a good job in their scenes as well. Mako gets in some quality firebending, and some of his trademark Mako attitude. But I do have to nitpick with Asami. Don't get me wrong, she's great behind the wheel of a steampunk supercar, and she gives a dude the business end of a taser gauntlet. But during the bit in the restaurant, she gets all over Korra for asking if she can trust her dad. Asami doesn't even disagree with what Korra said. She's like, yeah, I know my dad's a dangerous terrorist supercriminal, but you've been gone for 3 years, so you can shut up. And that feels really out of character for Asami. Korra was just being a good friend and showing concern. Even if Asami disagreed with Korra, which she doesn't, that would still be a low blow. Now let's look at Bolin and Varrick. This is the best action scene of the episode. The prisoners the guys are escaping with have waterbenders, firebenders, and anyone not of pure Earth Empire origin.
Forget Team Avatar. We need the Inglorious Bastards for this.
Yeah, now you mention it, Kuvira's being awfully, fascist, if you know what I mean. In terms of the action, Bolin is great with the lava bending as always. But those big in full dumpsters worth of armor are shockingly light on their feet. But they can't dodge death by science courtesy of Varrick. And lastly, the comedy is pretty okay. This one isn't going to go down in history alongside Not My Cabbages, but it ain't bad. Prince Wu, who's bringing the bulk of the laughs, is on point, as is Bolin, but he's a lot more serious than usual. And Granny gets a moment right at the end. Now it's time to break down the good and the bad in Legend of Korra, Season 4, Episode 7, The Return. On the good side, Avatar Korra is on the mend and awesome again. The gang is gradually getting back together, Varrick and Bolin are dynamite in and out of combat, and the old Avatar sense of humor is still in play. On the bad side, Asami feels out of character in the restaurant scene. Yeah, that's a petty complaint. So Legend of Korra Season 4, Episode 7, The Return, gets a 4.5 out of 5. If you're interested in more reviews of anime, movies, TV shows, comic books, or video games, check out my channel on YouTube at StupidPrivate913, or find my Facebook and DeviantArt pages for video updates and more. Thanks for watching.
Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.